My favorite thing about Shipt since I signed up for Target Circle 360? No price markups when I order same-day delivery from tons of local stores. Only a handful of alcohol retailers and items don't count. I won't lie, I've had too much fun being like, markups on groceries? Not in my fridge. Markups on pet food? Not for my DOG. Markups on tools, electronics, home goods, meds? Not in my house. Anyway, it's awesome. Order now at shipt.com/360. Terms apply.
What if an appliance emergency didn't have to be? If your appliances suddenly decided they were done, don't stress. Best Buy has you covered with a wide variety of major appliances from trusted brands, in stock and available now. So you don't have to worry about laundry piling up, refilling the fridge, or that big dinner party you're hosting. Because Best Buy has the knowledge and expertise to get you the right appliance for your home. Learn more at bestbuy.com. Best Buy. Imagine that.
Welcome to episode 58 of the Inside Job Boards and Recruitment Marketplaces podcast, reporting from the massive metropolitan area of Knife River, Minnesota. And yes, you will need to use Google Maps to figure out where that is. I'm Stephen Rothberg. I'm one of your co-hosts.
I thought you were going to be somewhere in Canada. I thought you were in Canada.
No, it's almost Canada. We're about
the turn arm, are you, or whatever they call that?
It's the what they call the Iron Range. It's on the north shore of Lake Superior.
Anyway, let's get to this stuff. We'll talk about that later.
I'm cool talking about whatever the heck you want to talk about, my man.
You're freezing your
No, that the patootie is not frozen.
Good. I won't ask what is, but that's quite all right. Well, good morning in the tundra, and I'm in Orlando, where we think it's the tundra because it's down in the 60s. Right now, it's 58 degrees, and we're freezing.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
I hope nothing but the best for you.
Thanks. Anyway, we're talking today about. I noticed you put trade shows in the slide.
Yes.
But I would argue that we're really talking more about conferences, because some conferences include a trade show and some do not. But a conference is a broader term. I didn't even realize you were going to call it trade shows. I would have argued that.
Okay, so I did not realize that there was a difference. I thought that they were synonyms. What's the difference between a trade show and a conference? Why don't we start there?
Okay, trade show is just the show floor where all the booths are. The conference encompasses speakers, workshops, seminars, networking events, and all the dinners and the drinking and the dancing and all that stuff. So the trade show is the show floor, and some conferences don't have a trade show.
Right.
So anyway, having said that, we agreed it's trade show season, lots and lots.
And conferences
year round, right? But lots and lots and lots. And you had a meeting yesterday to talk about where you're going to go. We actually had a conference meeting this morning. We also had conversations with our marketing director about going to some more conferences. So the question becomes, why go to a conference/trade show? Because a lot of people think it's a disruption, or it's an expense, both of which are true. But I would argue just the opposite. You can meet a lot of people in a short time. When I was a sales guy, and to some degree I still am, I used to say, I can go to one of these shows and meet 10, 12, 15, 20 of my prospects in a 2-day period. Why the heck wouldn't you do that? It's a lot cheaper. It's a lot faster. Sure, it costs money to be there. It costs money to fly there. It costs money to go there. But versus trying to set up Zooms, trying to set up meetings, trying to in-person, trying this, that, and the other thing, you're out of the office, which is a minus. but it's absolutely also a plus. Plus, you can refresh, you can renew, you can get new perspectives in a very short time. Set up one-on-one meetings with potential partners, collaborators, acquisition targets, even competitors. You know, when do you talk to your competitors? Almost never, but you can talk to competitors at a trade show and just get the lay of their land. You don't want to share numbers. You don't want to share prices. That can be illegal, but you certainly can talk about, you know, what they see, what you see, and that sort of thing, especially if you're friendly competitors. I'll give one more, and then you can give a couple ideas on why go, or two more I'll give you. I used to attend a conference called ICMA, International Classified Marketplaces Association. They just changed their name. And there was a guy in Canada named John McBain who ran Trader. And he was on an acquisition tear. And one of the people who ran the conference said to me one day, he just went to ICMA as a shopping mall.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Wanted to see what he could buy. And 2/3 of the attendees there were really there because they wanted to meet John McBain and see if they could become targets for him. So it was an acquisition shopping mall, and they were in the store.
Yeah, you know, both buyers and sellers.
They were in the merchant. Yeah. They were the merchandise on the shelf.
Interesting.
So, you know, nobody would ever go to a trade conference to see about who they can buy or whom they can sell to. Last idea I have, I've got many, but
some of them are good too.
The last one I will hit is go see a new place.
Yeah.
You know, the Spy Museum in Washington. Want to go there? There's a conference coming up there, TA Tech. Go to Las Vegas for the 9,000th time. I hate it, but on the other hand, it's a place to go. Amsterdam, good place to go. Barcelona, good places to go. You know, just go somewhere new. Tack a day or two onto the conference to not conference, but to go see it. Anyway, I'll shut up now. Let you talk for a bit.
Yeah. You know, I'm just going to add my 2 cents worth to add. I think I agree with everything you said, which is, I think, more a negative for me than anything else. But we won't go there right now. What I would add to is that there's a different level of trust that you build with people and with organizations when you're in the same room at the same time.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that you said, which I thought was like, that's absolutely true, and I can just picture myself doing that at some of your conferences and others too, is that you can walk up and you can talk to your counterpoint.
Pace of change in the world of business is fast, and that drives incredible complexity for the world of human resources.
Welcome to the HR Data Lab's Brown Bag Lunch, a series of conversations with experts inside and outside the world of human resources on how to innovate, measure, and evolve our practices.
Our goal is to help provide you with practical examples of how HR has to change and to meet in this complex business environment.
Every week, we'll talk to new and different voices on all aspects of human resources.
And guess what? You get to chat with us live.
Live?
Live.
So they can answer questions or they can ask us questions?
They can ask, they can answer, whatever they want. They get to talk with us live.
That's awesome.
Sometimes we geek out on the data and technology that underlie the processes that drive the world of HR.
But the conversations are always insightful and fun. So please enjoy the HR Data Lab's Brown Bag Lunch.
At one of your direct competitors, and you are two people who are basically trying to do the same thing, you know, hopefully make the world a better place and blah, blah, blah. But you understand each other and you're in the same environment. You probably went for dinner the same place the night before. You know, you're probably staying in the same hotel. So there are a lot of shared experiences. And even if you're not going to do business with that organization, the trust, the rapport that you build, it's like planting seeds. 6 months later, 6 years later, there's a really good chance that you're going to want to reach out to that person or somebody that they know really well with an opportunity. of some type. And if you can say to somebody, and I do this probably at least once a month, remember when we were together a few years ago in Barcelona, blah, blah, blah. We're now working on this. Can we work together? Those in-person conversations are just way better in person. Anyway, why don't we get to a few of your favorites for conferences and a few of my favorites? Do you want to go first with your favorite? With one of your
I don't know whether I would call them favorites. I want to just talk about a few of them.
Highlight a few of them.
For example, one of the things that surprises me is how few job boards exhibit at the recruiter conferences. Why wouldn't you be at ERE, or why wouldn't you be at NACE, or why wouldn't you be at the recruiter conferences in a small booth or a large booth? And I know Indeed and LinkedIn both have now started their own conferences to bring in their own people and, their advertisers. And there's $1,000 fee to attend, only they'll waive it for you if you're an advertiser and that sort of thing. But why wouldn't you be at a conference where SHRM is crazy expensive for a job board? But I noticed that the number of job boards there is lower and lower and lower and lower. And I'm thinking, here are 5, 6, 7, 8,000 recruiters, 20,000 recruiters. I don't know how many they get at SHRM, all in one place. And a lot of them are benefits people, and a lot of them are, the legal people, and they're not the advertisers. But doesn't it rub off? Anyway, so Unleash in Las Vegas, I went last year, found it very valuable. HR Tech, I find very valuable. ERE, David Manister's good friend, I don't find that one nearly as valuable because it's heavily focused on recruiters. I mean, the ERE stands for Electronic Recruiting Exchange, but that's one of the ones I like. I used to like to go to. It's not so valuable for me, but I think it's a good conference to be at. We mentioned, well, I'll let you go through a few others.
Yeah, no, those are a good few highlights. So some highlights for me that should be on the radar for our viewers: Job Boards Connect,
the Louise's conference, as I call
it. The Louise's, Triance and Grant.
By the way,
in London.
You didn't mention they have one coming up in London in February, 4-hour conference, February 20th. They call it Online Recruitment Marketing Conference. A quick half day, so people aren't going to fly in from all over, but it's a quick half day. And I love Louise and Louise, and they do good work. I don't like them as competitors, but on the other hand, we're really not competitors. We're good friends.
Yeah. So there was that. There's that one. Another one is TA Tech. You mentioned before the Spy Museum. That's where their conference is. I think it's June. Another one that we go to because we're in the early career space is NACE, which you also mentioned. And then RecBuzz, the events that the AIM group organizes. And either I or another member of our leadership team will be at that conference. And that's in Barcelona in April. They're really... Each conference has a different vibe. Each conference has a bit of a different cost and travel and whatever. So there's some pros and cons. You mentioned like the out of office disruption and whatever. And I think that's all really true. But, I hear from a lot of smaller, newer job board companies that are struggling to kind of understand the industry. They're always trying to sort of reinvent the wheel. And I think if they took a few days and went to even one of these events,
of course,
they would accelerate their business by at least a year, because people are very collaborative, very collegial, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I understand why you're saying that you want to do that, but don't. We tried the same thing and it was a total failure," or do it this way. You'd be amazed at how willing competitors are to share in person at events like that.
Yeah. By the way, we obviously haven't talked about one of the most important things, the content.
Yeah.
You see good speakers, you see great ideas, you see people with different perspectives. You go to sessions. We get complaints all the time about Rec Buzz. There's so much good stuff going on. I don't have enough time to go do other things. And it's like, yeah, well, send more people. But I mean, the content, the speakers, the panels, even the sponsors who are speaking at the conference, it's a paid commercial. But on the other hand, if they're smart, they do something that isn't a commercial, but rather an insight into what's happening. We're running out of time, by the way.
There is, and I do have one more that I want to mention, because it's so different than almost all of the other events, and that's RecFest. They had one this past fall in Nashville. They've had a bunch near London, and that's like Carnival meets HR conference. So it's almost in a class of its own. And
I wanted to go.
That's really interesting.
I wanted to go. I got registered last year, and then I had a conflict come up last minute. I will put it on my calendar for this year, and I'm also going to try to get our London guy, our London writer, and our London analyst to go to RecFest in London. We are out of time, friend. I wasted too much at the beginning, so
but that's no different. You and I are both very good at that.
Yeah, wasting time. And now we've wasted everybody else's. Have a good evening and a good afternoon, and best of faith. Happy New Year, pal.
You as well. Cheers, my man.